And out of the gates they come. Oh man, I was just about to break your eggs and be like, he owes us donuts, baby. Like,
man, it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Life is amazing. I took my car in for service this morning. Was supposed to meet the guy at 7:30. He was not there. I was the first one there. I'm waiting. I wind up talking to the guy next to me, and he says, "I'll just sign you in and whatever." And I give him my name, and he goes, "Get out of here." I go, "What?" He goes, "You know my wife, Beth Meeks, man." Bang.
Oh, wow.
Beth was our girl at Brightline. She now has a dog grooming business. And he goes, "I got you covered." Signs me in, gets me an Uber, and I am back for the show. So way to go.
Well done.
Wes Meeks. If you're going to BMW Fort Lauderdale, ask for Wes Meeks, man. He is the man.
Definitely thought you were going to be late this morning and you were going to have to bring donuts, but well done on being on time, and good morning to the Huddle crew as they shuffle in this morning. Happy birthday to Jake yesterday. I don't know if we want to show the pictures of dinner last night,
that was an awesome meal.
Long time since I've been to Council Oak for a steak, but wow, that was a phenomenal dinner that we had last night, and just great to celebrate Jake and continue to watch him grow up or not grow up. And it was just awesome. Great time together as a family. Really fantastic.
He did. They did a great job. It was great to have us all together. For those that are wondering, Shade does have a wife. He does have a baby, but he never brings them.
I played hooky last night.
So like Hard Rock's not a sponsor yet, but maybe they should be, because like if you're going to go to Hard Rock, like you don't even have to gamble. You can go get a great meal, and then on your way out, you stop by the store to say hello to Jesse. You and I went different directions, but then you get to go by the Weston Jeweler store. And did you see the new lighting and how beautiful it is?
So not only did I see the lighting, Helen and I breezed through, said hello to Jesse, talked for a few minutes, and then certain things were illuminated for her. She's like, I like that and I like that. And she goes, wow, they have a great selection. No shit, Sherlock.
Valentine's Day is coming up on Monday.
Yes.
With that being said, why would you not?
Wait a minute. Here's what's even better. I said to him, I said, dude, man, you look great. He goes, it's a gold farm. Of course it's a gold farm, man. Incredible.
I love that. That is fantastic. But speaking of Valentine's Day, why would you not scan that QR code and get yourself an opportunity to win a Quorum watch or a beautiful necklace from Weston Jewelers, or a Celebrity Apex cruise, or a night on the water with the Nudelbergs? Lots of great gifts to be had as you're donating to American Heart and supporting the cause as we move closer to the Heart Walk in March.
I want to make it very clear, we're making a fairly sizable donation, as we have come to, do often. And that gets us, oh my God, Jake Fields is in the house, man.
Good morning, Jake Fields.
Brother, man. So good for you, man. Welcome aboard. It's good to see you. Meanwhile, if you're not following Jake Fields, you should, because he's maybe the best snowboarder I've ever seen. And this guy's crushing mountains that are basically straight up the hill. But to my point, anyone can put in, the $50 and they get registered for any one of those things. We're in. When we go live,
our donation gets us tickets, right? We can win our own prize, as is Eddie Dykes. Like Eddie Dykes got a lot of tickets.
I do want the watch. I do want to go. Well, I guess if we win the cruise, do we go with ourselves?
Well, yeah, it's just a night out for ourselves. We can invite somebody, I guess, if we want.
So, just great stuff happening in a positive head because of last night. It really was great to celebrate family. And between you and me on social media and all that kind of stuff, thanks for the love, everybody. It was cool.
Absolutely. So let's get to some wake up music, and then we've got some great content to talk about. Got some great birthdays that are going to lead us to some great content, and got to celebrate a journey of somebody who has finally made it to the top of their career. Let's wake up first.
Hell yeah. Wake up, everybody. Get up. have to say. Wake up, everybody. No more sleeping in bed. No more backward thinking. Time for thinking ahead. Come on now.
Let's go.
Let's go. So first and foremost, you and I had both seen this post, and I thought that it was definitely worth sharing. So for those of you who aren't paying attention to football or haven't heard us talk about it, Mike McDaniel is the new head coach for the Miami Dolphins. And for those of you who don't know Mike's story or have ever seen Mike, Mike does not look like a guy that belongs in the NFL. Not because he's a Yale graduate. I mean, he's super intelligent, but because he's a very small guy, and you would never think that that would be a guy that would be leading the charge in the NFL. But as you see his story and you hear what he talked about, as a kid, he wrote this self-fulfilling prophecy of, I will be in the NFL. And he would keep it in his helmet as a kid. And as he started to grow up, he found his way in. Rode to the Broncos facility, became a ball boy, became an intern, worked his way up, and in college was at a crossroads of, do I go and be a financial analyst? Do I go into this career that Yale has offered me the opportunity to go to? Or do I chase my passion and just say I'm going to do whatever it takes? And I want to be clear here because I did that. I lived that journey. I was there. He got hooked up with the right people. Good for him for landing on the right staff at the right time. And for those of you who don't know, he's a recovering addict. He is an alcoholic that went through some serious issues when he was in Atlanta with Dan Quinn and his staff. And that staff supported him, got him out of it, and look at where he is now. So super cool. We had talked about mirrors and affirmations, but this is a guy who's been telling himself that story his whole life, and look at where he is.
So, it brings up such a powerful takeaway about the power of how you talk to yourself.
Yep.
We talk worse to ourselves than we would ever allow anybody to talk. If you wrote that down and then just recited it, you'd go, I'm not going to allow that person to talk to me that way. Yet we do it all day long. We're big fans of language. All of the people that we coach, we are coaching them on using a different soundtrack. Not I'm trying, I'm doing, I can't do it. No, I can't do it yet. All that kind of stuff. So when you see validation like this of a guy who just affirmed, he didn't matter what happened. He had his eye on the prize and did whatever it takes to get there. You have to revel in it. I mean, first of all, how many football coaches come out of Yale? So this guy's a bright guy that had life got in the way, circumstances got in the way. He didn't allow it. You have to rise above your circumstances. It's
in his tribe. I want to be so clear about this, that it is possible that he gets into that scenario that he got into in Atlanta and got in a bad way with alcohol. If he's not surrounded by the right people, his life could be derailed in a completely different direction. So the tribe you keep, the people you surround yourself with, the organizations you choose to be in make a huge impact on what you do. You cannot do it alone. I want to be as clear as you can about that. You cannot do it alone. It requires a tribe of people, and good for him that he had a great tribe of people, and now he's got the opportunity to do it for the Dolphins. So some great stuff there.
So I'm excited about having a guy right here that we can watch and pay attention to. He clearly, instantly has respect because he did it. It's not like he was given to him. Right. The journey was hard. So I don't care who you are in that locker room. He instantly goes, okay, bro.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go. Let's go. You're in. Let's hear it. Let's see it. He speaks highly of Tua, which obviously I don't think he would talk badly about him.
Yeah, he doesn't have a choice.
But you got to feel that Tua's got a better shot at being successful now. Having a guy that's offensive minded comes out of that, that tree.
What he said is that it's my job to get the excellence out of you. And so he's not saying that you got to go be Tom Brady.
Nope.
He's saying it's my job to get the very best out of who you are, which is the ultimate coaching term forever. And there's a line that I pulled from one of his interviews where he talked about like, look, like I'm not gifted enough to play in the NFL. I could never do the things that I'm coaching, but because I'm passionate about it and I'm willing to study it as hard as I can, I'm then able to help people who have the physical gifts do the things that I can see for them to do, which I'm just excited to have a coach like this in there. It's an experiment. He's a young guy, but it's going to be super cool. And what a cool story.
I'll leave you with this. The latest rumor is he leaves San Francisco. San Francisco wants Tom Brady and Tom Brady wants, so they're talking about Garoppolo going to Tampa, trading the rights to Brady. He comes back out of retirement. And, I mean, listen, that team is ready to win. With a quarterback, they win.
Yeah, I'd be shocked that after a month or 3 months that he would come back out of retirement. But he is a guy who says you never say never.
He left the door wide open.
So we got a lot of great stuff to talk about today. Let's just skip and go right to the morning motivational music because it's a phenomenal song. And then we're going to come back. We can celebrate Bob Iger's birthday, and maybe we'll get to some time boxing.
I wonder what it's like to be a superhero. I wonder where I'd go if I could fly around downtown. Yeah. From some other planet, I get this funky high on the yellow sun. Boy, I bet my friends are already stunned. Well, they're stunned. Yeah. Straight up, what did you hope to learn about here? If I was someone else, would this all fall apart? Strange, where were you when we started this game? I wish the real world would just stop hassling me. And you and me.
So speaking of superheroes, it is Bob Iger's birthday today. He celebrates being 71. And I would say that Bob Iger is a superhero for what he did for Walt Disney and the Disney Corporation, because during his tenure, they did an unbelievable job of recognizing that content was king. And he did everything within his power to pull all of the, or a lot of the great content creators underneath the Disney umbrella in order to move them to a streaming place. I mean, the business was struggling, and he did an unbelievable job of recognizing what the future saw and was able to move them into a direction to make them very relevant. We've got a great clip from him. It's a couple minutes long that I want to show because he addresses the University of Texas. What do you got, Deb?
No. I was, yesterday I was at City Furniture, and we sat down specifically to brainstorm about JA and the future of JA. Well, the vision for JA Biztown came from Wayne Huizinga. Wayne Huizinga from Blockbuster didn't see the streaming side, and Wayne has done so much for this community and just fantastic. But when you think about it, the foresight to see where all of that, that innovation is just incredible. And so
no better way than to hear him.
And I just got to show the picture. When you're walking through City Furniture, you never know who you're going to see. So shout out to Randall.
That's so awesome.
So as we're walking in, we see him, and him and his wife Devin are big huddlers and big LinkedIn fans. So hello, Randall. So thanks for letting me fit it in, Mark.
That I think that connection happened through the Huddle. I mean, I think Andy got connected to Devin through the Huddle, which is how it all happened. So gotta love that. But so let's listen to Bob address, I think it was the University of Texas as they graduated, and listen to some of his takeaways.
One of the most valuable things that I've learned from my own experiences, as well as from mentors and friends, is that the only way to accomplish meaningful things in life is by acting boldly. Being timid has never gotten anyone anywhere. Of course, boldness is more than just not being timid. It means taking swift, significant action in the face of fear and uncertainty. It means standing with courage and conviction, particularly when confronted with tough or unpopular choices. And it means having an unwavering commitment to honesty, integrity, and just doing the right thing. It means having a deep and abiding curiosity about people, places, ideas, just the sheer willingness to try something new. And being bold also requires ambition, a willingness to dream big. Because when you're in your early 20s, as many of you are, there just is no such thing as having dreams that are too big. Your possibilities are enormous. So my advice, be optimistic, be confident, have faith in yourself and in your abilities, and believe that your dreams are achievable, and don't let anyone tell you they're not. Now, you also need to be resilient, something you've heard a lot about recently. But the fact is, there will be setbacks and naysayers along the way for you. But so what? That just happens to be life. Nearly every successful person that I know has struggled or failed at some point. Steve Jobs was fired from Apple, the company he founded, and the guy who made the decision since called it one of the biggest regrets of his life. No kidding. Walt Disney was fired from one of his first jobs as a newspaper artist because he lacked imagination and he had no original ideas. Something that's also kind of hard to believe. Now, Walt failed a number of times over the years. However, always the optimist, he never stopped dreaming big and being bold.
So I'm a keyword guy. I'm a buzzword guy. Just pulling out of this: curiosity, courage, conviction, honesty, ambition, optimistic, confident, faith, belief, resilient. Like, what else do you need?
So when we talk about, people and their diet, you have a steady diet of that kind of dialogue going into your head, and everybody knows I'm an affirmations freak. That's why you put that stuff in your head. I listened to a new David Goggins things yesterday, and while he's on the extreme of all of that stuff, he still was right, man. You're fighting that enemy, that snooze button. You're fighting it every minute. So, it's so radical that it seems so simple for people to just listen to that. Don't you feel inspired? Lori says, I got chills. That's what great people do. They inspire themselves. They drink it. They shower themselves in it and then go out and share it with people. It's, that was long for the huddle, but great.
Yeah. So I think Melissa Kay says optimism in the face of reality is what you need some days. That's what optimism is that it's dealing with that hardness as it's happening right now with the vision of the future. But you got to be bold. You got to be confident in that time. You got to have a belief. You got to have a faith. And I had a long conversation yesterday about helping somebody develop confidence. That is, I was working with one of my leaders and they're talking about one of their people and they're like, she just lacks confidence. She doesn't really, and I said, well, what is confidence? Right. And we should kind of beat around. And we finally got to, it's the displayed ability to do something. As you want her to have confidence, how many opportunities have you given her to display that ability? It's not just going to magically appear one day, as it's our responsibility to develop that for them and give them the opportunities to display the ability to do it.
So this conversation goes really deep because where do you get confidence from? You get confidence from the training.
Right.
The repetition, the reps. I'm confident I can do that. Then there comes a time when the confidence goes away. You just trust in the fact I've been there. I've done it. Tom Brady with 2 minutes left in the game, he's been there. He's done it. He's practiced it. He's, there's no, training going on there. He's trusting in the fact that he did the work.
Well, he trained. Like,
right.
That's the whole point.
Is doing the work to get better, man. It's
so as we elevate new people into leadership positions, and then we knock their confidence for being in that position, I want to jump through the screen and be like, they've never done it before. You move them into this position because they embodied some great qualities, but where are we doing any training with them? Where are we offering them any opportunities with us? Where are we doing the practice, the preparation, and the reps in order for them to have that confidence? It takes time. You got to put in the work. And if somebody's not doing it for you, then you got to do it yourself. You got to figure out your own time, your own schedule to do the reps yourself in order to develop the confidence.
No matter what you do in life, at one point you're going to suck at it. People look at our podcast, this setting, and they go, wow, you guys are really good. You're really natural. Well, Jake did the studies of the first ones that we did, and they're unwatchable. Right. Why are we confident now? People ask the same thing. Wow, don't you have a problem getting up in front of 500 or 5,000 people? No, I've done the work. I've practiced. I used the mirror. I used people around me to give me that feedback. So, living it, learning it, all that kind of stuff is what makes you better in life. Confidence just doesn't come in the air. That whole thing, fake it till you make it, is the biggest horse shit that was ever fed to anybody at any time. Fake it.
You got to do it.
Listen, if I get on stage, you're going to see me faking it, man. You're going to know this guy's full of shit, man. He's faking it,
Yeah.
I don't really need someone else's validation because I did the work and I continue to do the work. I continue to learn. It was so fun. I did a presentation yesterday for the folks with Jen Homer and her group out in Cincinnati, and, went over that Adam Grant piece again. Like, how are you thinking?
Yep.
Where do you fit in the hierarchy? Are you willing to accept that there's new and you could be wrong? It was so empowering to be around the material because, you're a beginner at one point. You're
and nobody likes it. So I want to go back up because Dee said, I hate being a beginner. Everybody hates being a beginner. But Laura says, my 4-year-old son asked me, what is confident this morning at 5 a.m., explaining that term before coffee was a struggle. I explain it to Kai as confident is earned. Confident comes from, and I talked to him about this for baseball because we elevated him up into the older group, moved him to coach pitch with only 1 year of T-ball. I wanted him to know that he was going to swing and miss a lot before he hit the ball. So I told him, I said, confidence is going to come from when you've swung and missed at it 100 times, and then you hit it on the 101st time. And the more times you swing the bat, the more confident you're going to get that you're going to hit the ball. And that's where it will come from. So if you tell them up front that they're going to suck at it and that it's going to be hard, but the only way to get the feeling that they want is to go through that, makes it a lot easier for them to understand.
Listen, there was a time in Jake's career as a football player that he wanted to quit. And I said, we don't quit, man. This is the shit you got to go through. Sorry. And he was kicking and screaming. And I said, you're going to go back. You're going to try more. And one day it's going to flip. And, so when we talk about the greats, Michael Jordan got cut in 9th grade, man. Come on. He didn't allow someone else to define him. He says, what do I need to do to get better? And did it and became the best. What a shame it would be if any of you have that in you and you don't explore it. That's why I love where we are now coaching people. And before we leave today, we should shout you out because a lot of the people that you are coaching just got promoted at City. So
Thank you.
You are helping people define their roadmap. Put everybody we're working with, we said, what does success look like to you? Okay, let's build the road to get there. And it comes with hard work and rejection and fear and doubt. And when you do, man, yes, sir, Shay.
And we will end the show with a moment of silence for Mr. Sarge Summers, who tragically passed away. yesterday.
So we hate to leave the show on a low note, but very sad news came yesterday that Sarge Summers, who came through us through the huddle, had a tragic accident.
To Andrea Sakanikas. She, being in the oil and gas business, and he was such an unbelievable spirit. And he was killed in a car accident tragically. And it was all over LinkedIn for those that know him. So Shay, thank you for that reminder. And just close it out with a moment of silence. It's great.
So we will not play the Let's Get Down to Business music. We will end the show with a moment of silence for Sarge. Have a fantastic Thursday. We will see you guys tomorrow.